Check. Right, we got Queen of Sheba live right here on the big one at melody1.com. Good evening, how you doing tonight?
Good evening.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing alright, doing alright. Bit of a quiet one today because of the AC Milan game, but we still got quite a few listeners out there. But yeah, basically, what is going on with UK Funky at the moment? We know we've had a couple of upsets with MCs and beat jacking and so on. What's your opinion right now on that scene?
I think the beat jacking it's still going on, but it's not really getting as much limelight as it did before due to its highly political profile.
Right, okay. But I mean, in terms of the music itself, creativity within like producers and stuff like that, and the quality of music that's being put out there, I mean, what do you think's happening there? Do you think there's been any improvement since the end of last year up until now?
I think there has been a lot of improvement. Right. There's been a lot of more, say, vocal tracks, as in a female singing.
Right. So
they're being recognised as soulful house. But I think that's more because as the MC tracks sort of came out, a lot of producers stopped calling their music funky. Right. Because they didn't want to be associated with the skank tracks that were basically getting a lot of attention from outsiders, and being connoisseurs, they just didn't want to have any association with that, which is how the beat jacking thing really started.
Right. But
yeah, I think that people that are now saying they like soulful house is the same people that were making the original funky tracks. Right. So is funky really dead, or is it just being called house now due to that?
That's the key question. That is the key question. What people would normally refer to as funky, would you say it's dead or dying?
Well, I think it's just mostly because people didn't really pay attention to funky until, say, KIG and Gracious K's migraine scan.
Right.
So to them, funky is a house type beat, whether it be jacked or made for them, or made for the track, I should say.
Yeah.
And that's what people see as funky, really. But if you was into funky from before, you'd know that all these tracks that people are singing over, they're still UK funky.
Right, okay. So, I mean, I went out last week and I went to a rave called, well, I'm not even going to say the name of it, but the music policy was advertised as funky, right? And when I got there, I didn't even hear any funky tracks, to be honest with you. I heard soulful house, I heard house, and I heard techno.
See, this is it. I mean, people kind of have the whole what is funky thing kind of misconstrued, I reckon.
Yeah.
Kickstart, for instance, that's seen as a house track. It's made by Perempe.
Right.
Perempe made In the Air. Perempe made Bust It. But these are tracks that are seen as funky. Is that because they came out before Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes?
Well, it's debatable, really, isn't it?
It is.
It's debatable.
It is.
Like
funky was more recognised as the UK strand of house music.
Yeah, that would make sense. I think that would make sense. But I find what the DJs are, well, a lot of the big DJs, what they're doing is they're actually playing house tunes or old techno tunes and passing them off to the audience as funky. And some of these tunes have come out like 3 years ago, and DJs are profiling them as, this is something new. Do you know what I mean?
Well, if you went out to a funky rave in 2007, that is what you got.
Right. See, I wouldn't know because I'm a multi-genre DJ. I'm not even a funky DJ, but there's just so much going on on Twitter, so much buzz on Facebook. Is funky dying? And do you know what I mean? The general public, they're saying, yeah, it's dead. But is it a case of they don't know what they're talking about, or is it a case of, you know? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, like they would say it's dead because they haven't heard anything further that is referred to as funky. You know, you had Funky D singing "Are You Gonna Bang,"
yeah.
Gracious singing like the Migraine Skank, and because we haven't had much more of this type of music, what the masses identify as funky, they don't get in any more of it.
You know what? I think you've hit the nail on the head right there. That's it. That is it. You've hit the nail on the head. The music has evolved and it's moved on from that. And because they're not getting any more of like the skank tunes, the MC tunes and whatnot, the bubblegum tunes as it were, they're saying it's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know,
so,
I mean, being into it from the beginning, if I was listening to CDs that were in the raves or from raves of 2007, you've got just a future sound now of what you was listening to then.
Totally agree.
We just had a phase of MC tracks. Now, yeah, they got a lot of commercial limelight and they brung this UK funky name into mainstream. But people that were into that kind of music, think about it, The Cure and the Chords, that was seen as a funky track.
Yeah.
It sounds nothing like what was blowing up Napa last year.
Right.
But what is seen to go to blow up Napa this year probably will sound a lot more like it.
Right. Okay then. I mean, I think the audience would have probably learnt a lot about, you know, what is funky and what is classed as funky and why people are saying funky is dead. So really, in actual fact, you've hit the nail on the head. Basically, it's evolved and it's just something different. It's not actually dead. So the next thing I would ask, but you know, we have to ask people that rave on a regular basis, are they getting their money's worth? What's the vibe out there? How healthy is the scene in general? But that's another topic and that's another show altogether.
I think it depends on where you go. I think that's into a whole different thing, really. You know, what DJs are being put on lineup, why they're being put on lineup,
right,
and stuff like that. You know.
That's another thing. I mean, when I went out, I heard the DJs were all playing the same thing, and it was just too much repetition. Me as a DJ, I don't play out that often as I'd like to, but I think it's common sense. You go before your set well in advance. You listen to what the DJ played before, in order to, you know, contribute to the rave and make it a good rave. People don't want to go out and hear the same thing 10 times. Do you know what I mean? So that's another topic. I want to thank you for joining us on the show tonight. Any shouts you want to make to anyone in particular listening?
Really just to the whole of the music family, and just to tell everyone to look out for our next edition of the music magazine. It is coming very soon.
Okay, give them the website.
www.themusic.com. The music is spelled in phonics, so it's DA-MJUZIK. Yeah, that's it, themusic.com.
Wicked. All right, people, watch out for that. Thank you, QOS, and take care. Have a good evening. Thanks for joining us.
You too.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There you have it. Apparently UK Funky's not dead. The question so many people have been asking. Shout to QRS once again. Hold tight, all the music fam.